It is 3:08. I'm up in the tree. It's a little bit later than I wanted to get set up, but it's a beautiful evening. Got a little bit of a fog, a little bit of a light drizzle. Last time I was out here for a hunt, I had a shot on a nice 8-point. It was a little dark and a little too far away for it to be too effective, but I had to try. So this time I have cut them off. He either came out from down here and up the tree line, or he came out from right below me and came up. Either way, he ended up outside in the lane at 62 yards. So this gives me a much closer opportunity and earlier in the night to see him come out. So I'm gonna have to get quiet and get settled in. Hopefully we got some deer movement. Stay tuned with us. Folks, well, I thought I'd come at you with a little bit of a narration. It is always great when a plan comes together and we have some deer approaching right where they are supposed to be. Here we go. I'm following the sound, anticipating an up-and-coming shot. There's a lot of things that go into self-filming. Archery is not easy on its own, but when you throw in filming, it definitely adds an entire difficulty factor. Here we have a nice young buck that is stepping out right where he's supposed to be. I'll throw up some trail cam footage of this deer. I had already made the decision that if I was to see this buck, I was going to go ahead and give him the pass. As you can see, he only has one side stepping right out into my shooting area, 27 yards. With self-filming, I unfortunately did not push record on the Canon, which is strange because I had done this one other time this season when a deer came out in the exact same spot, and so I do have the camera arm set up a little bit differently. The viewfinder is on the opposite side of the camera, making it kind of difficult to line up your shot, but I do believe I had either double tapped the record or turned on the record with the remote. So I'm not sure what the case was. At this point, I do hear a second deer approaching. I had just had an encounter just a week before, 10 days before, with a really nice mature buck. Was unable to harvest it, so I was anticipating a larger, more mature buck stepping out into the same location as this deer just had. Right there, 27 yards. We've done really well the last several years on letting young bucks walk on next property in hopes to grow some larger, more mature bucks, and we have had some really nice encounters this year. So both of these bucks have gotten a pass. Again, at this point, I thought I was filming with the Canon. Archery is so fulfilling. I think it's at this point here where I really start to try and zero in and get some close-ups and begin to realize that I have not been recording the last 2 or so minutes. It's really frustrating when it comes to self-filming. Wouldn't be the first time. I've followed a 10-point all the way to the base of my tree and took a shot and was not able to get it on film. So letting these bucks walk is not that big of a deal. So I do believe that this buck started moving down the tree line, which would put him a little bit downwind of me. I believe he did catch my scent and came back up and began to leave in the same direction that he came in. As you can see, he is still a young buck, but definitely has some really nice growth, good tine length. Not as much mass as you would like, but if he would have had his other side, being that we're up into the end of December, I probably would have tried to take him, and the way that he come out this evening, he probably would have been in a little bit of trouble. But just a beautiful buck, and we will let him walk and hopefully see him again next year. Nick has several bucks about this same size and a couple a little bit bigger, but in that large 6-point size frame. These deer keep looking over there, so I'm wondering what they're looking at. I'm trying to find possibly another deer in the area.
I just let that big dog 8-point walk. I think that's the biggest deer I've ever let walk. He sort of dropped to one side. I already said to myself, if I seen him, I was going to let him walk. I was hoping the second deer was bigger, but it was smaller. And he's not a shooter. I think I had an encounter with him back in October. Yeah, still some time for a big boy to come out, but there's a couple of more shooters, but I'd seen him on trail camera and said I would let him walk if I seen him. Man, he came out 27 yards. Oh my gosh, I think he must have got down, winded me just a little bit, or seen me move, because I couldn't see him because of these cedars. But he is a shooter. He's a shooter. I don't think he's the one I shot at last time I was here. I think it had a bit more mass, but he's tall. He's got good tine length, so if he would have had his other side, I would have been shooting him. We'll give him another year and see what happens. I hope he don't get shot during alternative season. But he's only got one side, so I'm gonna keep quiet and see if we got something else come in. Stay tuned.